Ladies and gentlemen, John Mellencamp.
All right. In the summer of 1966, I was in 8th grade. I was 14 years old, discovering my freedom away from my parents, riding around in cars with older guys, driving from one small town to another, discovering the freedom of what a 305 Scrambler motorcycle felt like, driving down the Interstate 65 to Scottsburg, Indiana, in the middle of the night with no damn driver's license. And of course, the most powerful freedom of them all, a 17-year-old girl waiting on me. And when you're 14, that's big power, guys. That summer was great for me, and the soundtrack played on the radio, and the song on the radio was Summer in the City. And it played over and over and over again. And they played that song all summer long. But I never got tired of hearing it. In fact, I looked forward to hearing it. There were many other songs that summer, but the footnote to my brain and my heart and my soul was that song. And it was a pop song. And it was on pop radio, poetic and beautiful in its course, sexy and poignant in every breath that the singer sang. The song, I assumed, was written about New York City. I'd never been to New York City. But here I was in a town of 4,000 people, and I related to every word that that guy sang. Every night it's a different world. Go out and find a girl. Come on, let's dance all night. Despite the heat, it'll be all right. And babe, don't you know it's a pity that the days can't be like the nights in the summer, in the city, in the summer, in the city. And I thought, fuck yeah. Later that summer, I was arrested in Columbus, Indiana, for operating a motorcycle with no driver's license, excessive acceleration, disturbing the peace, public indecency, and public obnoxiousness. You guys ever heard of being arrested for public obnoxiousness? That's right, Donnie, you're right. So anyway, my attorney delays and delays, and now it's December 1966. Now I'm 15 years old, still don't have a driver's license, and I'm driving home from my court appearance, and I remember everything that happened that night. I remember what I had on. I remember the conversation that I was having with the kid. I remember thoughts that I was having, and I remember the smell of the cold winter day. I'm in a 1957 Chevy with a kid named Bill Herkamp, who was also arrested with me. It's 11:30 in the morning. It's Wednesday. We had to miss school to go to our court appearance, where my explanation to the judge was, hey, Jack, license don't drive no car. He didn't think I was funny either. Anyway, later on in the car, the radio was playing, and this song comes on about Nashville cats. I have no idea what a Nashville cat is. Guitar players were not part of my consciousness at that time. But I loved what the guy was saying about these Nashville cats, and I thought, you know, one of these days I'm going to meet one of these Nashville cats. And I thought, nah, hell, one of these days I'm going to be one of these Nashville cats, right? So when I got back to Seymour, which is where I grew up, I took the remainder of the money that my parents had given me to pay my court fine, and I went to Sears and Roebuck, which is the only place to buy records back then, and I bought my first copy of Hums of the Lovin Spoonful. That was the first album that had Nashville Cats on it. And guess what else it had on it? It had Summer in the City. And guess what else it had on it? Rain on the Roof. I thought, man, this is a gold mine. 3 great songs on one album. Can you imagine? And then I went home, and the old man kicked my ass for getting arrested. And I took the album up to my bedroom and put it on my Phil Cole recording record player. And that's how I discovered the Lovin Spoonful. You know, that's the magic of a 15-year-old guy's memory. But as an adult, I have to examine the pathos of the Lovin Spoonful. In 1965-66, it was the pinnacle of the British invasion. All these mamby-pamby English guys coming over here stealing the headlines, right? Singing songs like I Want to Hold Your Motherfucking Hand. Nothing personal, Paul. So how could, in what in essence was a folk rock band, complete with all this sensationalism, come from England? I know that the Beatles were the inspiration for the forming of the Lovin Spoonful, but they weren't going to sound English. They were an American band. And the Spoonful weren't considered hip in the eyes of the developing U.S. rock press. Nothing fancy, nothing glitzy, nothing weird happening here. So the hipsters ignored the music, and that's what these guys were about, the music. Beautiful and wonderful in every song, never sounded the same, each song unique unto itself, and every element of the best of American music. The unique guitar playing of Zal and the smart, thoughtful songwriting of John Sebastian, not to mention his unique auto harp playing and vocal styling. The soulful country blues feeling coming from the rhythm of Joe Butler and Steve Boone. The band was only together 4 years and only made 4 albums. But check this out. Do you believe in magic? Did you ever have to make up your mind? What a day for a daydream. You didn't have to be so nice. Hot down summer in the city. The younger girl keeps rolling across my mind. Nashville cats, darling, be home soon. She's still a mystery, and the doctor said, give them jug band music. It seems to make them feel just fine. And all of that in just 4 years. Can you imagine at today's standards, Alan Grubman could get these guys a shit pile of money. The albums were even, cohesive, and the songs were honest, and they slid easily into the American consciousness. The hipsters were too hip to notice. But let me tell you guys something. They give out crowns in heaven for the underdog. So long live the American bands, the ones that inspire other young Americans to pick up an instrument and play and have fun, like the Lovin Spoonful did for me, by writing songs so beautiful and simple that a dumbass like me could get an acoustic guitar and play along. Great music at its best makes the listener believe that the magic's in the music and the music is about them. So congratulations. So congratulations to the Lovin Spoonful for finally being inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I hope the guys in the Spoonful are as grateful and as humbled by the fact that people will be dancing and fucking to their music in the 21st century.
About 30 years ago...